Hello there, Madridista family. Welcome back to this space where our passion for football, and above all for Real Madrid, becomes the heartbeat of our community. Before diving deep into today's story, let me remind you of something essential. Hit the like button and subscribe to the channel, because here you'll always stay up to date with every development surrounding the greatest club on earth. From transfer rumors to match analysis, from tactical breakdowns to behind-the-scenes news, this is the place where the voice of the Madridista community never falls silent. Now, sit back and get ready, because what not so long ago sounded like nothing more than a passing rumor is beginning to gather weight, attract headlines, and stir excitement across the football world. A name is echoing more and more inside the corridors of the Santiago Bernabéu: Julián Álvarez. The Argentine forward is not just any striker, he's one of the brightest attacking talents of his generation, and his situation is being monitored very closely by Real Madrid. What once seemed like fantasy is slowly turning into a genuine possibility. Julián Álvarez could be on his way to becoming one of the most significant transfers of the next window. Who is Julián Álvarez? To understand why this potential move excites so many fans, we need to look at the profile of the player himself. Born in Chalchón, Córdoba, Argentina, Álvarez grew up immersed in football. His rise through River Plate's youth academy was nothing short of meteoric. He wasn't just another striker, he was a goal machine, a forward with exceptional instinct inside the penalty area and the versatility to play in different attacking roles. Under Marcelo Gallardo at River, Álvarez matured quickly, winning domestic titles, shining in the Copa Libertadores, and earning the reputation of being South America's next great export. His jump to Europe confirmed what many already suspected: Álvarez was ready for the highest stage. At Atlético de Madrid, despite joining relatively recently, he wasted no time making an impact. Goals, assists, constant pressing, and a relentless work ethic quickly turned him into a key figure. Simeone's system is famously rigid, demanding immense defensive sacrifice, yet Álvarez adapted seamlessly, another sign that he's built for the toughest challenges football can offer. A modern striker for the modern game. What sets Julián apart from so many other forwards is that he is not limited to one role. He's not just a penalty box poacher. He can drop deep to link play, drift wide to create space, or spearhead the attack as the lone striker. His pressing game is tireless, his movements unpredictable, and his composure in front of goal ice-cold. Modern football demands flexibility, and Álvarez embodies that demand. He combines the instincts of a number 9 with the creativity of a number 10. He thrives in transitions but also has the intelligence to break down low defensive blocks. In short, he's the kind of forward every top club dreams of having. Atlético's ceiling and Julián's ambition. Yet despite his success at Atlético, there's an elephant in the room. The club, for all its competitiveness in La Liga, has a clear ceiling when it comes to European football. Simeone's Atlético has reached finals, has been difficult to beat, but year after year the same reality sets in. Their chances of lifting the Champions League are slim. And Álvarez knows this. At just 24 years old, he's already a Copa America champion, a Finalissima champion, and a World Cup champion with Argentina. His ambition goes beyond playing week in and week out. He doesn't want to be remembered as a good striker for a competitive side. He wants to become a global superstar, a player who defines an era, someone who builds a legacy in the biggest moments. That ambition demands a bigger stage. A stage where trophies are not just aspirations but expectations. Enter Real Madrid, the natural destination. This is where Real Madrid enters the equation. The name alone carries a weight no other club can match. The club is synonymous with greatness, with history, with the grandest nights in football. For decades, the Santiago Bernabéu has been the place where legends are forged and where careers ascend into immortality. For a player like Julián Álvarez, Real Madrid is more than just another option. It is the ultimate destination. Here, he would find everything he's looking for: the chance to fight for La Liga and the Champions League every single season, the exposure to the highest levels of world football, and the opportunity to wear the most iconic white shirt of them all. How Julián would fit at Real Madrid. Tactically, Julián would be a dream for Carlo Ancelotti. Imagine him leading the line, fed by the vision of Jude Bellingham, linking up with the elegance of Luka Modric, combining with Toni Kroos, and playing off the electric pace of Vinicius Jr. and Rodrigo on the wings. His versatility would give Madrid the option to shift formations, to alternate between a 4-3-3, a 4-4-2 diamond, or even a 4-2-3-1 without losing attacking fluidity. Unlike Atletico, where individual flair often takes a back seat to tactical rigidity, Real Madrid encourages its stars to shine. The Bernabéu is not a place where talent is hidden, it's where talent is magnified. Julián would be free to express himself, to maximize his strengths, and to write his story among the greats. Madrid's need for a new striker. From the club's perspective, the interest makes perfect sense. After the departures of Cristiano Ronaldo and Karim Benzema, Real Madrid has been in search of a new attacking leader. Vinicius and Rodrigo have stepped up brilliantly, but the team still craves a true center-forward, someone who guarantees goals at the highest level and who thrives under pressure. Alvarez fits that profile perfectly. He is young, hungry, proven on the international stage, and still has years ahead of him to grow into an even greater player. The timing could not be better. The mental factor: Champions League dreams. At Real Madrid, expectations are clear. Winning the Champions League is not optional, it's mandatory. The club lives for European nights, for comeback victories, for lifting the trophy that defines greatness. For Julián Alvarez, this would mean fulfilling his dream of competing for and winning the Champions League year after year. He would not only be playing for glory, he would be writing his name into football history alongside Raúl, Ronaldo Nazario, Gonzalo Higuaín, and Karim Benzema. Madrid does not just give strikers opportunities, it gives them immortality. Financial and market considerations. Naturally, such a transfer also makes sense financially. Julián Alvarez is a global name, a World Cup winner, and a symbol of Argentina's golden generation. His market value is rising, and his image carries huge commercial appeal. For Real Madrid, this is not only an investment in goals, but also in brand power, shirt sales, and international reach. More importantly, Alvarez's personality makes him a perfect fit. He is humble, hard-working, disciplined, and ambitious. Real Madrid does not only recruit players based on skill, but also on mentality, and Julián has the character to thrive under the immense pressure of the Bernabéu. The bigger picture: a move that inspires. So, Madridistas, the question is no longer whether Julián Alvarez is an interesting player for Real Madrid. The real question is, how soon will this possibility move from rumor to reality? Because make no mistake, this is not about signing just another forward. This would be a move of strategic importance, both on the pitch and off it. Julián Alvarez is not only capable of delivering goals, he is capable of delivering an era. An era of competitiveness, of ambition, and of trophies. Real Madrid does not simply sign players. Real Madrid signs history. And if the stars align, Julián Alvarez could be the next great chapter in that never-ending story of glory written in white. From Valdebebas, the beating heart of Real Madrid's sporting project, the future is being studied with surgical precision. The white boardrooms are not just preparing for another transfer window, they are plotting moves that could redefine the landscape of European football for years to come. This is not about signing another player, it is about consolidating a dynasty. And at the center of the current deliberations, a name shines with growing intensity: Julián Alvarez. Florentino Pérez, the architect of both the Galacticos era and the futuristic Santiago Bernabéu, has never shied away from audacity. He knows that the game at the highest level is ruthless. You either innovate and strengthen constantly, or you risk becoming irrelevant. That is why Pérez and his closest advisors are considering a move of seismic proportions. The Argentine striker is not simply viewed as a reinforcement. He is seen as a potential cornerstone for the next decade, a player whose arrival would echo through Madrid, Spain, and all of Europe. The plan is not born of chance, nor of opportunism, but of conviction. Pérez is fully aware that Alvarez possesses all the traits that define a true Madridista: hunger, talent, versatility, and an unwavering will to compete at the highest stage. The president is prepared to place on the negotiating table an offer so overwhelming that Atlético Madrid, Alvarez's current team, would be left powerless. For the Rojiblancos, losing their brightest young star to their eternal rival would not only weaken them on the pitch, it would shatter morale in a way that could take years to recover. For Madrid, on the other hand, it would represent a double triumph, strengthening their own arsenal while delivering a psychological blow that would reaffirm who truly rules the Spanish capital. But the real difference-maker here is not money, politics, or market dynamics. It is the will of the player himself. Julián Alvarez has made it clear, in his words, his demeanor, and his decisions. When he dreams of his future, he sees himself wearing the white shirt. Barcelona can offer tradition, Juventus prestige, and PSG unimaginable wealth, but none of them can offer what Real Madrid represents: an aura that transcends sport, a legacy that turns men into legends. The Santiago Bernabéu is not just a stadium, it is a coliseum of footballing immortality. It has witnessed the rise of Di Stefano and the birth of the modern game in the 1950s, the dominance of the Galacticos in the early 2000s, and the relentless record-breaking of Cristiano Ronaldo in the last decade. In Chamartin, it is not enough to be good. To survive, you must be decisive. To flourish, you must be historic. And Alvarez, who has already carried the pressure of playing for River Plate, who has tasted the ultimate glory of lifting a World Cup with Argentina in Qatar, and who has proven himself in Europe, seems destined for precisely that kind of challenge. For Madridistas, simply imagining him charging down the wing, exchanging quick passes with Jude Bellingham in midfield, and finishing moves alongside Vinicius Jr. and Rodrigo is enough to set pulses racing. The prospect of Alvarez leading the line on a Champions League night, under the Bernabéu lights, brings back memories of nights when Karim Benzema, Raúl, or Cristiano defined eras with single moments of genius. And just as those legends once carried the badge, Alvarez could be the next to inscribe his name into the pantheon of Madrid's eternal heroes. From a tactical perspective, his arrival would elevate Real Madrid's attack to terrifying new levels. Alvarez is not a static striker waiting in the box. He is a mobile, aggressive, multifaceted forward capable of playing as a number 9, as a second striker, or as a wide forward cutting inside. His pressing is relentless, his work rate unmatched, and his nose for goal lethal. In modern football, where adaptability is gold, Alvarez is a diamond. He can stretch defenses with diagonal runs, open space for teammates with selfless movement, or simply decide matches on his own with instinctive finishing. Under Xabi Alonso, a manager renowned for tactical intelligence and fluid systems, Alvarez would be a dream. Xabi values players who read the game, who understand the rhythm of possession and the geometry of space. Alvarez's intensity would allow Madrid to press higher, recover the ball faster, and suffocate opponents. At the same time, his finishing touch would give Madrid a clinical edge in matches that demand precision. The thought of him linking up with Vinicius's explosiveness on the left, Rodrigo's creativity on the right, and Bellingham's power through the middle is the blueprint of an offensive machine that could dominate Europe for years to come. And then there is the symbolism. Real Madrid does not only win games, it wins battles of perception, of prestige, of aura. By prying away Atletico's jewel, Los Blancos would remind the entire footballing world of their unmatched gravitational pull. Every goal scored by Alvarez in white would not simply be a number on the scoreboard, it would be a reminder to Atletico of the gulf that separates aspiration from supremacy. It would be a dagger in the rivalry, a declaration of dominance repeated with each net bulging at the Bernabéu. Beyond the rivalry, this signing would send a thunderous message across Europe. When Real Madrid desires a player, there are very few forces capable of stopping them. It would be another chapter in the saga that once saw Alfredo Di Stefano arrive against all odds, Luis Figo cross the Clásico divide, and Cristiano Ronaldo leave Manchester to conquer Madrid. Julián Alvarez would not just join a club, he would join a lineage of destiny, a bloodline of legends who dared to choose greatness. Ultimately, the Alvarez operation is about more than football. It is about identity. It is about Madrid's eternal quest to not only dominate the present but also to build the future. If this move becomes reality, it will not be remembered as a mere transfer, it will be remembered as a turning point, a new dawn. Because while others celebrate fleeting triumphs, Real Madrid lives for eternity. And eternity, perhaps, has already begun writing Julián Alvarez's name in white letters. Beyond the immediate and the usual frenzy of the transfer market, the potential signing of Julián Alvarez by Real Madrid should be understood as a strategic move with long-term implications, extending far beyond the current season. This is not a spontaneous action, a short-lived media-driven purchase, or a fleeting whim. It is, instead, a decision that reflects the vision and planning of one of the most iconic football clubs in the world. The arrival of Alvarez would not only strengthen the squad on a technical level but also send a clear message globally. At Real Madrid, foresight, intelligence, and long-term planning are just as important as immediate victory. Despite his youth, Julián Alvarez possesses a resume that impresses even compared to more experienced players. At just 24, he has already played in Copa Libertadores finals, crucial matches in Argentina's professional league, and, most notably, has become a World Cup champion with Argentina in Qatar 2022. This international experience is no minor detail. It indicates that Alvarez is accustomed to performing under pressure, to facing high-stakes environments, and to delivering when the spotlight is most intense. In a club like Real Madrid, where every match is an examination and each season is measured in titles, this type of experience is invaluable. His youth, combined with his competitive experience, makes him a player with immense growth potential and, most importantly, the capacity to become a defining figure of the next generation of Madrid players. Real Madrid is currently navigating a strategic transition, balancing the need to remain immediately competitive with the obligation to prepare for the succession of legends who have defined its recent history. Players like Benzema, Modric, and Marcelo have been fundamental pillars, but the club knows that no legacy is eternal. In this context, Alvarez emerges as a key element of the future, a signing that would not only address offensive needs but also align perfectly with the philosophy of a team that prioritizes mobility, high pressing, and tactical versatility. His profile allows coaches to employ multiple offensive schemes, from centralized attacks to rotation-based systems where positional intelligence and the ability to combine effectively with wingers are decisive. Florentino Perez, as president and architect of the club's sporting projects, has repeatedly demonstrated that he does not act impulsively or follow fleeting trends. His most memorable signings, Cristiano Ronaldo, Kaká, Hazard, Vinicius, and Bellingham, among others, follow a consistent logic. Invest in talent with global projection that guarantees both immediate and future success. Alvarez's potential acquisition fits exactly within this framework. It is not a short-term expenditure but a strategic investment that multiplies its value not only in sporting terms but also in marketing, global image, and international reputation. A player like Alvarez is, in every sense, an asset that enhances the club's prestige and consolidates its position as a global leader. The international media impact has been immediate and resounding. Leading newspapers and sports portals across Spain, Italy, France, and Germany have covered the story with headlines analyzing not only his footballing qualities but also the strategic significance of his potential arrival. Even in England and the United States, where the Premier League and Major League Soccer dominate attention, analysts highlight that Real Madrid may be anticipating the competition for one of the most sought-after emerging talents in the world. The consensus is that this signing would be one of the boldest moves in the market, not only due to the player's quality but also because of the statement it sends, that Madrid continues to set the standard and that its ability to identify, attract, and develop talent surpasses that of its rivals. In Argentina, the reaction has been even more intense. Alvarez represents more than just an outstanding footballer. He embodies a historical tradition of forwards who have shone in Europe and left a lasting mark on world football, from Batistuta to Messi. His potential arrival at Real Madrid is not analyzed merely as a transfer but as a moment of national pride, a confirmation that Argentine talents continue to shape the elite of football. Moreover, Alvarez himself has expressed in multiple interviews his desire to compete at clubs of the highest level, revealing ambition and commitment to projects where excellence is the standard. Another decisive factor is the approval of the head coach, Xabi Alonso. His opinion carries significant weight in any major operation. In Alvarez's case, Alonso values not only his individual talent but also his tactical intelligence, work rate in high pressing, and willingness to integrate seamlessly into the collective. Analysts agree that Alvarez is a player who understands the game at a level beyond his years. He reads space, anticipates movements, and adapts to various systems without losing effectiveness. For Alonso, Alvarez is not an optional luxury. He is a strategic reinforcement, a piece that can elevate the team's competitiveness while also serving as a linchpin in the generational transition the club requires. For Madrid fans, this represents a historic opportunity. Alvarez seeks greatness and titles. He wants to be part of a project that never settles, that always strives for more. Real Madrid offers precisely that, an environment where he can aspire to lift the Champions League, domestic trophies, and leave a legacy that will be remembered for decades. His arrival would not only strengthen the team in the present but also lay the foundation for a victorious future, ensuring the club remains an absolute reference in Spain, Europe, and worldwide. The impact of such a signing extends beyond the pitch. Alvarez's arrival would also have significant commercial and economic consequences. His global profile would allow Real Madrid to reinforce sponsorship agreements, expand its presence in key markets across America and Europe, and consolidate its status as a global brand. From a squad management perspective, Alvarez would bring versatility and depth, enabling effective rotation without losing competitiveness, vital during seasons when fixture congestion can determine the difference between winning and losing titles. Historically, the potential signing of Julián Alvarez fits within Real Madrid's tradition of attracting the world's best young talents, players who not only excel individually but elevate the team to new heights. The club's history is filled with transfers that transformed its destiny. Di Stefano, Puskas, Zidane, Ronaldo Nazario, and Cristiano Ronaldo are prime examples of players who not only achieved greatness personally but also propelled the club to unprecedented success. Alvarez has the potential to join this lineage, becoming a defining figure of his generation and creating a turning point in the club's narrative. Thus, the question is clear and pressing. Are we ready to see Julián Alvarez step onto the Santiago Bernabéu pitch, don the white jersey, and begin building his legacy as one of the great forwards in recent Real Madrid history? For those who love football and this club, the answer is unequivocal: yes. Because beyond strengthening the squad and adding goals, his arrival would send a global message that true elite football still resides in Madrid, that strategic foresight and the pursuit of excellence have not diminished, and that the institution continues to attract and develop the best talent on the planet. In short, Julián Alvarez would not just be another player. He would be a symbol of the future, an emblem of generational transition, a source of excitement for fans, and a constant reminder that at Real Madrid, every signing is measured not only by what it brings today but by what it can mean for the club's history, competitions, and the collective imagination of world football. The potential arrival of the Argentine could very well be a defining moment, shaping not only the squad but also the club's narrative, its relationship with its supporters, and contemporary European football itself.